श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। In the last session, we saw how the Guru is approached by the Shishya, who is endowed with 5 important qualities. They were described as a mumukshuhu, who has a desire for moksha, and one who is a yathoktakari. Yathoktakari is yathaoktam karoti. One who is willing to carry out the instructions of the Guru and do whatever it takes to receive the Upadesha. And then one who is Prashanta Chitta. Prashanta Chitta is the one who has no more confusing priorities in life, but the Eka Vyavasayatmika Buddhi alone. Nishchayatmika Buddhi. And where the mind is not split over so many directions and priorities. Then Shamanvitaya. Shamanvita is a Shishya who is endowed with the Shakta Sampati disciplines, who has mastery over the mind and the sense organs. Then finally, the one who is Prapannaha. Prapannaha is who has approached the Guru and surrendered. So we saw how the Shishya, presents his plight and says, Etam bhavasindhum katham tareyam. How am I going to cross the ocean of worldly existence? Kame gatihi. What is my fate, O Guru? And kaschit upaya asti va. Is there a solution, a remedy? And these are the questions asked by the Shishya initially. Then what does the Guru do? So the Guru immediately does or gives abhaya pradanam. Abhitim dadati. And he reassures the Shishya and says, you are in safe hands now. Apayaha nasti. There is no danger, there is no loss for you. Ma bhaishtaha. Upayaha astihi. There is a solution, and not just any solution. There is a Mahan Upayaha. And that Mahan Upayaha is this Chakkani Jnanamarga, which Yatayaha Yataha. Many seekers have trodden this path in the past, countless seekers, and have crossed to the other shore and gained the peace and freedom that you are now seeking. So, what is the nature of the bondage? Also, we saw there how it is avidya kalpita deha bandhanam. It is a notional bondage. It is not a real bondage. It is due to avidya. And hence, we can have many other upayas. One may consult an astrologist or, a therapist or a doctor. But all these upayas may have only temporary benefits. But here, the Guru is saying that this marga of Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam will generate the Viveka Agnihi. And that Viveka Agnihi, the power of discrimination, will lead to Uttamam Jnanam. And what will Uttamam Jnanam do? Pradahet. It will burn down the entire samsara vrikshaha samulam. That is along with the cause, that is avidya. It's just like when we prune, trees and bushes, they are going to come back again. But when you uproot it, samulam, then there is no chance of that samsara returning. So this is how the Guru assures the Shishya that upayaha asti and do not fear. Now the Shishya is going to formulate more questions, and he is going to ask. But even before posing the questions, he is going to ask permission to ask the questions. Hmm? And we are going to see how the Guru will address the Shishya also. So now we move on to the 48th shloka. And that is this one. Shishyah uvacha कृपया श्रूयतां स्वामिन् प्रश्नोऽयं क्रियते मया यदुत्तरमहं श्रुत्वा कृतार्थस्यां भवन्मुखात् शिष्य उवाच कृपया श्रूयतां स्वामिन् प्रश्नोऽयं क्रियते मया यदुत्तरमहं श्रुत्वा कृतार्थस्यां भवन्मुखात् शिष्य उवाच. Now the Shishya says, Kripaya, with compassion, Shruyatam. Hey Swamin, Prashnaha ayam kriyate maya. Yad uttaram aham shrutva kritarthahasyam bhavan mukhat. So now, how does the Shishya address the Guru? Swami, Swamin, which means master. And he requests the Guru to listen with compassion and say Shruyatam. In the bhakti literature, often we find the bhaktas will demand from Bhagavan, Shrinu, Vada, Trahimam, Pahimam. That is commanding, command mode. But here it is Shruyatam. Shruyatam means whatever I have to say, may it be heard by you. It's a very polite form in Sanskritam, indirect, may it be heard by you. Shruyatam, Kripaya, with compassion and patience. No? Listen to what Ayam Prashnaha Kriyate Maya. This, not just one question, he's going to ask 7 questions, this Shishya. So, may all these questions, which are pariprashnas, pariprashna means well formulated, well thought out questions, springing from a genuine spiritual hunger and not just out of curiosity. So, Ayam Prashnaha Kriyate Maya, by me, you please Kripaya Shruyatam, Hey Swami. Then, Yat Uttaram Aham Shrutva Kritartahasyam Bhavan Mukhat. Yat Uttaram. Yat Uttaram means and. Look at the Shishya's confidence and trust in the Guru. He says the answer or the Upadesha that I'm going to receive Bhavan Mukhat from your Mukham, I will become Kritarthaha. Kritarthaha Syam. Kritarthaha means whose Artha is Kritam. That is, who has fulfilled the purpose of life and achieved the goal. So, Yad Uttaram Aham Shrutva, having listened to the Guru Upadesha, I would become a fulfilled person. Intellectually, emotionally, my mind would be settled and there will be moksha prapti for me. So we can appreciate here the attitude of humility and reverence for the Guru. No? So the Shishya does not run to many gurus, but he has total confidence that Ishvara has appeared in front of me in the form of this Guru. And I have Shraddha in my Guru and total confidence that I will be pulled out of this samsara sindhu. And so this is the request that the Shishya puts out to the Guru. So we can see how patient one has to be with the Guru. In the modern age, Kali Yuga, Shishyas can come, Swamiji, I have a flight in the evening, it's very urgent, can I have 5 minutes with you? I have seen this a lot in Anikati. And Puja Swamiji would also graciously comply, and take the person inside and give some upadesha, all that is there. But we should be willing to be patient. And this is how Shishya requests the Guru to listen to his questions. Now, what are the questions? There are 7 questions that the Shishya is going to ask. Now, we see that this is very similar to what we see in the Purva Bhaga of Vishnu Sahasranama. You remember where Yudhishthira approaches Bhishma Pitamaha lying on the bed of arrows, no? And then Yudhishthira asks him also, no? Kime kandaiva tam loke kim vapyekam parayanam stuvantak kinkam archanta prapnu yurmanava shubham ko dharma sarva dharmanam bhavatah paramo matah kinjapan muchyate janto janma samsara bandhanat. So that asking is very, very important. Yeah, the jignasa. So only when we ask will the universe respond with answers. Only when we knock will the doors of my mind open. So that seeking is described beautifully here in Viveka Chudamani. And we also saw in the beginning of chapter 8, Akshara Brahma Yoga of the Gita, where Arjuna asks 7 questions to Krishna. किं तत् ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मं किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तमम् अधियज्ञं च किं प्रोक्तम् अधिदैवं किमुच्यते, and so on. How to remember you at Prayana Kale, and there were 7 questions there also. So now let us see what are these questions presented by this Shishya in the shloka number 49. को नाम बन्धः कथमेष आगतः कथं प्रतिष्ठास्य कथं विमोक्षः को सावनात्मा परमः क आत्मा तयोर्विवेकः कथमेतदुच्यताम् को नाम बन्धः कथमेष आगतः कथं प्रतिष्ठास्य कथं विमोक्षः को सावनात्मा परमः क आत्मा तयोर्विवेकः कथमेतदुच्यताम्. So, कः नाम बन्धः कथम् एष आगतः कथं प्रतिष्ठा अस्य कथं विमोक्षः कः असौ अनात्मा परमः कः आत्मा तयोः विवेकः कथम् एतत् उच्यताम्. So again we can see a very humble, respectful attitude. Etat uchyatam, kindly may this be told to me. The answer, the uttaram for all these questions. No? So what the Shishya wants is clear. Moksha Prapti. Yeah, is a Uttama Sadhana Chaturshya Sampanna Adhikari Shishya. But he breaks down that one question, burning question, into 7 sub-questions. No? First, he asks, Kaha nama bandha? What is this bondage all about? What is the nature? Then, Katham eshaha agataha? How did the bondage arise? Since when did it come? No, who has authored this bondage? Yeah. And then, Katham pratishtha asya? Pratishtha means the basis or support. So, what is it that nourishes this bondage? What is the basis for the bondage? What is fueling it? Pratishtha asya katham. Then katham vimokshaha. How to be free from this bondage? Kaha asau anatma. So the Shishya is already informed. So it says, what is the nature of anatma? Then paramaha kaha atma. And that paramatma that you speak about, what is that nature? Kaha atma. Then tayoho vivekaha. Kaha, what is the difference between the two? Atma, Anatma, Vivekaha, Kaha. Etat Uchyatam. He Swamin. So these are the questions posed by this Shishya. Now, the ball is in the Guru's court. The Guru will now reply. And so, the Guru is has already praised the Shishya, if you remember, as Vidwan earlier. No? Now he is going to further praise the Shishya with other words. Shri Guru Uvacha, Shri Guru Uvacha, Dhanyosi Kritakrityosi, Pavitam te kulam tvaya, Dhanyosi Kritakrityosi, Pavitam te kulam tvaya, Yada vidya bandha muktya, Brahmi bhavitum ichchasi, Brahmi bhavitumicchasi. Sri Guru Vacha. धन्योऽसि कृतकृत्योऽसि पावितं ते कुलं त्वया यद विद्या बन्धमुक्त्या ब्रह्मी भवितुम् इच्छसि. The Guru praises the Shishya and says, Dhanyaha asi, kritakrityaha asi, pavitam te kulam tvaya, yat avidya bandha muktya brahmi bhavitum ichhasi. So, the Guru praises the Shishya. Unlike in Bhajagovindam, if you remember, Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudhamate. Same Acharya addressed somebody as Mudhamati. Mudhamati does not mean fool, but aviveki. Now, because the Shishya has the wealth of Viveka and Vairagyam and disciplines and mastery and has a burning, desire for moksha, the Guru praises as Dhanyaha. Who are the Dhanyaha? He says, you are not the Dhanyas like Ambani or the, Bill Gates. Dhanam you don't have, but you have the sadhana chatushtiya sampanna dhanam. And you are desiring the highest knowledge. Yeah. And you are going to fulfill the Parama Purushartha, the precious purpose of the precious human Janma. So the Guru can see all this, that how the Shishya has already fulfilled the Pravritti Marga, has covered the Swadharma Anushtanam and has walked the Vaidika Marga Dharma. Dharmas are over and all that Punyam has given the Shishya Chitta Shuddhi and brought him to the Guru. So acknowledging all that Punyam and now the Guru is praising the Shishya and says, Dhanyaha Asi, you are blessed. And what else? Kritakrityaha Asi. Kritakrityaha is a beautiful word, comes in the Bhagavad Gita also. Krityaha means what is kartavyam, what is to be done. And krita is what is done. So all that was needed to be done has been done by you. Kritakrityaha. Now, the student has come for gaining the knowledge. So it's not yet kritakrityaha. But he is kritakrityaha because he has already achieved the great milestone of having approached the Guru, having Chitta Shuddhi, and the desire to start Vedanta Vichara Guru Mukhat. That is why the Guru calls the Shishya Kritakrityaha Asi and Dhanyaha Asi. So earlier Vidwan and now Dhanyaha and Kritakrityaha. And says you are not, those Kripanas. Kripanas are miserly people who have not utilized the human birth for the highest Purushartha. So you are indeed blessed. Then he says, another praise is Ichhasi. You are desiring what? Brahmi Bhavitum. Now, Brahmi means you want the status of Parabrahma, Paramatma Swarupa, you are desiring. Brahmi Bhavitum Ichhasi. And how will we get that? Yat avidya bandha muktya kritiya. By the freedom from the bondage generated by avidya, you desire to gain the Brahma Tattvam. And hence also you are dhanyaha, you are krita krityaha. So you have done all that was to be done, the dharma marga, pravritti marga, and now you have entered the nivritti marga, the moksha marga, shreyo margaha. And so you are indeed blessed. Now, this shloka also says, the Guru is saying, not only you are blessed, but tvaya kulam, your entire lineage is blessed. The lineage that you belong to, your family. And in the Mundaka Upanishad, we saw that mantra, no? Asya kule abrahmavet na bhavati. That is, in the family of the one who is a mumukshu, or a jnani, or a viveki, nobody will remain as abrahmavit. Abrahmavit means nobody remains as abrahmavit, double negative. That is, nobody will be ignorant of Brahma. Eventually, that is 7 generations prior to this mumukshu's life and 7 to follow in their family. They will all be blessed. Because there was one, Viveki, one mumukshu, one jnani who aspired for the highest. That is, we know this from, maybe our own families. In some, purva, janmas, purvashrama, there would have been some sannyasi or some virakta vairagi purushaha. Then how that knowledge percolates down, and there will be curiosity and also to come to the shastras, approach the guru and gain this highest knowledge. And so the guru says, pavitam te kulam tvaya. And there is another Subhashitam, which is not only Kulam Pavitram, Janani Kritartha. And the mother who has given birth to such a mumukshu, who is aspiring for the highest, she is a punyatma. She has fulfilled the purpose of the human birth. So, for all these reasons, the Guru is predicting that the Shishya is going to receive all the blessings and will become a Brahmavit, a knower of Brahma. So, let us chant this again. Shri Gururuvacha Dhanyosi Kritakrityosi Pavitam Te Kulam Tvaya Yada Vidya Bandha Muktya Brahmi Bhavitum Ichhasi. Now, Shri Guruhu is mentioned here because the Guru is one who is endowed with Shri. And Shri is all the Bhaga, the Aishwaryam, the Jnanam, Vairagyam, everything in absolute measure is this Guru. And hence, Shri Guruhu Uvacha. Now, we are going to see the actual questions. The questions we already saw. Now, the Guru will continue. 51. Now here we are going to see a set of shlokas which are going to emphasize the role of self-effort. Yeah, how nobody else can, give us the moksha prapti. If I want something, I have to get it. I have to walk on that margaha. Uddharet atmana atmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmana bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. That is, one's own self, Atma, is the best friend and can also pull us down as the worst enemy. So the next few shlokas are going to say how one takes birth in a family, one came alone. And as a mumukshu also, one has to aspire and put in the proper effort. The Guru can only arrange the books or the sessions or give the Zoom link. But the students have to log in. The students have to make space for the Upadesha. The students have to open the book and read. So the next 2-3 shlokas are about this. Now, the Upadesha will not yet start immediately. So let us see shloka number 51. How important this Atma Kripa is for Moksha Praptihi. ऋणमोचनकर्तारः पितुः सन्ति सुतादयः ऋणमोचनकर्तारः पितुः सन्ति सुतादयः बन्धमोचनकर्ता तु स्वस्मादन्यो न कश्चन बन्धमोचनकर्ता तु स्वस्मादन्यो न कश्चन ऋणमोचनकर्तारः पितुः सन्ति सुतादयः बन्धमोचनकर्ता तु स्वस्मादन्यो न कश्चन ऋणमोचनकर्तारः बहुवचनं पितुः सन्ति सुतादयः बन्धमोचनकर्ता एकवचनं तु स्वस्मात् अन्यः न कश्चन. Very simple Sanskrit, should not be too difficult. Now, here it is said that Rinam, Rina means a debt. Mochana is to be free from the debt. Now, this rinam means rina is debt. No? Mochana is to be free. Kartaraha. Kartaraha means those who free us from debts. Now, what kind of debt are we talking about here? See, in life, families, especially grahasthas and all, sometimes they have to take huge loans from the banks, or they pledge their, jewelry and to buy land or, for the sake of education or to send their children abroad or marriage. Amazing. So much loan they have to take. All this is what Rinam. So, Rinam Mochana Kartara means supposing the father, or the grandfather, whoever has taken the loan, but then his prarabdha is over and he is departed, then the family will be stuck with the rina. Who is going to pay the rina? It will not be cancelled, right? So, who are the rina mochana kartaras? Who are going to free the unfortunate family from all these debts? That is it. Pituhu sutadayaha. For example, suta, the children of the parents, they can fulfill and redeem the debts. Or some kind-hearted relatives, bandhus, even strangers or swamis, they can help to remove the burden of the debt. What is the point here? You have incurred the debt, but others can help in removing the debt. Look at the second line. Bandha mochana karta tu swasmad anyaha na kaschana. But whereas the karmic debt, that is the karma, one's own karmic patterns and the avidya generated bondage, bondage, debt like bondage, then who is the karta? Who is the mochana karta? Who will free us from our bondage? None other than oneself. Swasmat anyaha na kaschana. So, this is the same thing that you can bring the horse to the water, but you cannot make it drink. So, all the people in the world, doctors, psychologists, even gurus, they can only show us the way and help to a certain extent. But ultimately, only I myself can help myself. Why? Because I am the problem, I am the solution. Avidya kalpita samsara is where? In my mind. Remember that classic Drishtanta, Rajju Sarpaha, rope snake? One has mistaken the rope for the snake, fine. But somebody else comes and says, no, it's just a rope. There's no snake there. But until my vision is also the vision of the rope, I will continue to suffer from the snake, syndrome. So even though others can point out, do this, do that, satyam vada dharman chara, until I have a value and I have the desire for moksha, then I will not be, nobody can free me from this bondage except I myself. So one has to free oneself from bandhanam. I have to put the effort in the right direction. So this is what the Guru is saying here, that we have involved ourselves in so many worldly pursuits. Yeah, but now I have to try to come out of all that. Prioritizing, approaching the Guru and gaining adhikaritvam and then chitta shuddhi, then beginning shastra vichara, shravana manana nididhyasnam. All this who is going to do? Nobody else can do for me. I have to do if I want to get out of samsara. That is the point here. I have to do loka pariksha and approach the Guru. So the role of Atma Kripa is mentioned here. That is, in the worldly situations, we can get help. And to remove the rinams, rina mochana kartaras are many. But the bandha mochana karta is only one, and that is oneself. Swasmat anyaha na kaschana. Why? Because I am the one having all the adhyasa. I have the anatma atma mix-up. I am having erroneous conclusions and mistaken view of Jiva Jagatishvara. So the Guru can only give instructions. Do this, study this text, do follow it up with mananam and all. But until I follow it up with consistent, systematic Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, that erroneous understanding will not go. So that is the point of this shloka number 51. ऋणमोचनकर्तारः पितुः सन्ति सुतादयः बन्धमोचनकर्ता तु स्वस्मादन्यो न कश्चन. Now the same topic continues in 52 also. मस्तकन्यस्तभारादेहे दुःखमन्यैर्निवार्यते. मस्तकन्यस्तभारादेहे दुःखमन्यैर्निवार्यते. क्षुधादिकृतदुःखं तु क्षुधादिकृतदुःखं तु विना स्वेन न केनचित् विना स्वेन न केनचित्. Mastaka is head, Nyasta, placed, Bhara, dehe, Dukkham, Anyahi, Nivaryate. Shudhadi Krita Dukkham, tu Vina, Svena, na Kenachit. So, we know how fond of examples Acharya is. Yeah, in the Atma Bodha also we saw how so many drishtantas we saw to clarify each point. Here also, what does Acharya say? Mastaka nyasta bhara. Bhara means a burden. So imagine somebody who is having a heavy load to carry on the mastaka. Mastaka nyasta bhara. The burden carried on the head by somebody. That is not a lightweight. Dukkham, after some time becomes very heavy. So, mastaka nyasta bharadehe dukkham. The dukkham or the pain due to that heavy burden placed on the head. Anyehi nivaryate. Definitely somebody can help relieve us of that burden. We can call one coolie at the railway station or porter at the airport. Yeah, or a friend of ours, or some relative coming along can also help. In fact, even strangers help. When I went to Kanaka Durgamma temple in Vijayawada, strangers just came to reduce that bharam. I will hold Mataji or bag and this, that. So, like that, nivaryate. Others can readily step forward and relieve us of the burden. Then kshudadi, kshud. Kshud means hunger. So, hunger, when we feel hunger and thirst, these are all natural afflictions. Shastra calls them natural pains. The body will feel the pangs of hunger every 3-4 hours and thirst also. So, kshudhadi dukkham, tu, can anybody else relieve us of that pain? No. Will I be satisfied seeing somebody else eat if I'm hungry? No. Nobody can eat for us. Nobody can drink for us. So look at Ishvara's order. Ishvara has created the body in such a way it will feel hunger, it will feel thirsty, and there is solution also. There is food available in nature. There is water to quench thirst. But I have to eat and I have to drink. So kshudadi dukkha krita dukkham tu vina svena na kaschana. No one else other than me can remove the pangs of kshuda and pipasa, the hunger and thirst. So, one can prepare and cook and serve food. But one has to eat and one has to digest and swallow. Even if, utara, even if we serve the person, feed the person, but still one has to digest the food and want to eat the food. Yeah. So that is again the same topic here, Atma Kripa, that we may have all the resources, supportive family, books are there, computer, laptop, devices, internet resources, guru to guide us, But of what use is all of this if I do not put them to proper use, if I do not avail of this? So the gurus in Yama in Kathopanishad says, Uttishtata Jagrata Varan Prapya Nibodhata. That is, now you have to wake up You have to approach the wise person. You have to gain the knowledge. That is the simple examples here are given to illustrate the point of Atma Kripa. Okay. So that is why it is said that, we cannot really help another person psychologically. We can help them physically, no doubt. But if a person is deep into psychological, emotional problem, then all these people, the therapists, the doctors, the well-wishers, they can all help to some extent. But one has to choose to come out of it. One has to choose to know. So here also, this Atma Jnanam, will it come one fine day? I will get up. Oh, it's going to dawn on me one fine, clear day, I will stumble upon this knowledge. Suddenly a guru will appear in my life. No. One has to prepare oneself. That is, have the Nischayatmika Buddhi and want to, the Shriyo Moksha Margaha and attain the disciplines. All the route Viveka Chudamani is showing us. Unless we choose to do all this, then that is not going to happen. The Marga to Moksha Praptihi. So let's chant this again, number 52. मस्तकन्यस्तभारादेहे दुःखमन्ये निवार्यते क्षुधादिकृतदुःखं तु विना स्वेन न केनचित्. Next, 53. पथ्यमौषधसेवा च क्रियते येन रोगिणा आरोग्यसिद्धिर्दृष्टास्य नान्यानुष्ठितकर्मणा पथ्यम औषध सेवा च क्रियते येन रोगिणा आरोग्य सिद्धिः दृष्टा अस्य न अन्य अनुष्ठित कर्मणा. Again the guru continues in this. Another example is given here, the example of Ayurvedic medicine treatment. Now, pathyam. We know what is pathyam, no? Pathin means a path in Sanskritam. Pathyam is the path that one follows for treatment. So it will be in the form of restrictions, a suitable diet for the patient. Do not eat fried food or too much salt. Don't eat after sunset. Drink plenty of water. So when a suitable diet is prescribed, that is called pathyam. For whom? Rogi. For the rogi, the patient. Then what else? Aushadha seva. Aushadha seva means taking medicines. Yeah. Following the medicine plan also. So pathyama aushadha seva cha kriyate yena rogina. So by the patient who follows both the instructions for, the dinacharya, the healthy living, plus the course of treatment, medicine, then what do we say? Arogya siddhi drishta asya. For that rogi, asya, arogya siddhi is seen, drishta. Have you noticed so much passive usage, karmani prayoga? Very beautiful. Karmani prayoga is a very compact way to say, to mention a topic. Arogya siddhi drishta. Yena rogina. By that rogi, the health, stable health and happiness, will be seen. Drishta. Arogya siddhi. In fact, the word in Sanskritam for health is swasthya. Swasthya means svasmin tishtade. So in the Vedantic context, we can see that the one who has a clear understanding of swatma is truly swasthya, is healthy. So arogya siddhi drishta asya. Then the last word is na anyan Anushtita karmana. Anushtita karmana means if others take the medicine or do some karmas or follow the dinacharya, will this patient be cured? Obviously not. Hmm? So the one who is feeling the acute sense of bondage and suffering has to take up this action and follow this moksha marga. And for a length of time. We see that when the doctors prescribe, they will prescribe a certain course for 5 days or 7 days, or 3 months, which is very important. And here also in Vedanta, one has to be systematic and consistent for a length of time to see the cognitive changes in one, the inner transformation and the steadiness of Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyanam, all that. But when we do other karmas, like go to Nadi Jyotish or continue japa, or some puja, pariharas and all we do, they're all upayas, but temporary upayas. They may help with some, purity of mind, with some silencing of the mind, but they cannot address the root cause, which is avidya. So that is the so you see, the guru is, predicting that, many shishyas will have this aramba shuratvam. They'll be very impressed initially. But the guru is thinking of the consequences and saying, just like a course of treatment for a patient, one has to be patient with on this moksha marga also. So Puja Swamiji would say that, one should never do guru shopping. Yeah, if today, it's flooded with gurus, so many avenues are open to seekers, no? But if we listen to various gurus on the same topic or the text, then the seeker can get confused because every teacher will explain it in a certain style. All teachers are good, but they will have their own style of explaining, and the shishyas can get confused, and also it will affect the bhakti, the bonding with the teacher. So we want to closely follow the instructions to a depth, and hence, the Guru says that Guru is thinking that Shishya has come and approached me, surrendered, but now I have to take care that to see that he does not disappear. He does not disappear, and he follows the pathyam that I am going to now give. And then once we lose that opportunity, will this golden opportunity come again? Is anybody's guess. It may or may not come. So to gain the full benefit, of a treatment, one has to complete the course. So too, one has to, continue the Vedanta Shravanam for a length of time till it is firmly entrenched and rooted in us. And then it is, that will only give us the steady clarity. Okay, now let us chant this again. पथ्यमौषधसेवा च क्रियते येन रोगिणा आरोग्यसिद्धिर्दृष्टास्य नान्यानुष्ठितकर्मणा. Okay. Let us see one more shloka, that is 54. Vastusvarupam sfutabodhachakshusha स्वेनैव वेद्यं न तु पण्डितेन चन्द्रस्वरूपं निजचक्षुषैव ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम् वस्तुस्वरूपं स्फुटबोधचक्षुषा स्वेनैव वेद्यं न तु पण्डितेन चन्द्रस्वरूपं निजचक्षुषैव ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम्. Now, in this verse, Acharya says, Vastu Swarupam Sputa Bodha Chakshusha Svenaiva Vedyam Natu Panditena Chandra Swarupam Nija Chakshushaiva Nyatavyam Anyaihi Avagamyate Kim. Have you noticed how all these shlokas are ending with interrogatives? They're all rhetorical questions, no? Is this possible? Can one gain knowledge? like that. So here also something like that. So Acharya says, Vastu Swarupam. Vastu means Brahma Atma. So Atma Swarupam Vedyam can be known, is known how? Sveneva, by oneself. No? How oneself? Sputa Bodha Chakshusha. Tritiya. By the clear eye of knowledge. Yeah? Bodha Chakshu means eye of knowledge, the third eye. And Sputa. Sputa means clear eye of discrimination. How do we awaken the third eye? It can only be awakened by Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasnam. So the physical eyes obviously are going to see the physical dimensions alone, the gross, tangible. But the mind that is purified and awakened can perceive the Sukshma Drishti. Chapter 13 Gita also we had the same thing. In the end, Krishna says one should be able to perceive the discrimination between Kshetram and Kshetrajnaha, between Anatma and Atma. Tayoho Vivekaha. So the fire of Viveka generated by Shastra Vichara will give the clear understanding Jnanam. So that is mentioned here. Sputa Bodha Chakshusha Vedyam. So Vastu Swarupa Atma Jnanam can only be gained by oneself and one who has done the Shastra Vichara with the Guru systematically and gained the clear knowledge. The eye is of course not a physical eye, but it is the mind, the mind that is blessed by the Shastra Vichara. Then, Svenaiva Vedyam, Natu Panditena. Now, Panditena, there are a lot of Panditas who can describe Vastu Swarupa, Satchidananda Swarupa, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, all this. But will I get the benefit? No, it may be inspiring. Yeah, they will get the benefit. So one has to have that aparoksha anubhava. Sakshat hetu. Sakshat hetu means the direct cause is what? The direct cause is knowledge. Jnanameva mokshaha. So I have to gain that knowledge if I want to be free. The same topic here. Then the second line has again a drishtanta. Chandra Swarupam Nija Chakshusha Eva Jnatavyam. Now Chandra Swarupam, Chandra is the moon. Now the nature of the moon, if you want to appreciate the beauty of, Purnima or any other phase of the moon, if it is to be Jnatavyam, if it is to be known, how will it be known? Nija Chakshusha Eva. I have to open the eyes and be able to appreciate the beauty of the moon or the sun or whatever. Anyehi avagamyate kim. Is it possible to appreciate the beauty of the moon or anything, by somebody else? Yeah. Anyehi avagamyate kim. So what use is it to me if others can appreciate and have gained the knowledge? Pandityam is there, but it is no use to me. So the point here the Guru is making here is that, if I want the freedom from bandhanam, yeah, then I have to assimilate the teachings consistently and systematically. Just as the nature of the moon can be appreciated and seen only by one's own eyes. And I cannot really see through somebody else's eyes. Yeah. So that Sakshat Vastu Swarupa Jnanam can be had only when that Viveka Buddhi in me arises. When I have got the Jnana Chakshu and the clear discriminative power. So let us see the shloka again. वस्तुस्वरूपं स्फुटबोधचक्षुषा स्वेनैव वेद्यं न तु पण्डितेन चन्द्रस्वरूपं निजचक्षुषैव ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम्. So it's all similar, similar examples we've seen that In order to be feel satiated, appease my hunger, I have to eat. To quench my thirst, I have to drink. I have to follow the course of medicine to be cured, and I have to follow the Guru Upadesha for moksha prapti. Nobody else can do this for me. That is the basic point here. Now we will just see the next shloka briefly and then conclude. अविद्या काम कर्मादिपाशबन्धं विमोचितुं कः शक्नुयात् विनात्मानं कल्पकोटिशतैरपि अविद्या काम कर्मादिपाशबन्धं विमोचितुं कः शक्नुयात् विनात्मानं कल्पकोटिशतैरपि अविद्या काम कर्मादिपाशबन्धं विमोचितं कः शक्नुयात् विना आत्मानं कल्पकोटिशतैः अपि. So now we know this familiar net, avidya, kama, karma. So this is Shankara's, often refers to this samsara chakra as avidya, kama, karma. The root cause is avidya, that is self-ignorance. I have taken myself to be this limited body, mind of a certain height and weight and characteristics and descriptions, potential, qualifications, and hence I feel space-wise limited, time-wise limited, I'm limited by disease, anxiety, by height, weight, all these erroneous conclusions I have. So this is the avidya kalpita bondage. Yeah. Now here, this avidya, what will it do? The avidya will generate kama, desires for fulfillment, and the kamas, of course, will translate to actions in order to be fulfilled for peace, security, happiness. I want to fulfill desires. So this keeps me in orbit. Avidya, kama, karma, janma, karma phalam, punya, papam, janma. So in every janma, we are chasing pursuits in order to fulfill desires, but the desires are nothing but a manifestation of avidya. And so here Shankaracharya says that vimochanam, this freedom from this cycle, without atma jnanam, is it possible for anyone? Shaknuyat, kaha shaknuyat, who is capable of being free from this cycle in hundreds of crores of kalpas? Now we saw this figure. The kalpa is the whole Srishti cycle. That is the lifespan of one Brahmaji. Astronomical. Then crores of such Brahmas. Then hundreds of crores. Even in hundreds of crores of kalpas, Srishti cycles, vina atma vichara, vina atmanam kaha shaknuyat. How is it possible to free oneself from this cycle? So we have seen these points earlier also, that in karma koti bihi, koti karmas. In janmas, if we perform karmas, then we will only be orbiting. So even punya karma is a bondage in Vedanta. Because to experience punyam also, I have to take birth. Yeah. Of course, we need punyam for Guru Prapti, punyam for opportunities for doing Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam. But even the punyam that is there in Yajna, Danam, Tapas, I have to do it as a yoga, karma yoga, as an offering without any attachment or expectation of the result. Then that punyam will give us Chitta Shuddhi. No? So, this is the point the Guru is making, is preparing the ground for the Shishya and to be able to receive the Upadesha, which will follow, in a few verses from here. Avidya kama karmadi pashabandham vimochitam kah shaknuyat vinatmanam kalpakoti shatairapi. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।